The TV1 News is proudly brought to you by BSP, our bank, our people.
Good evening, this is TV1 News. I'm Mary Silla.
And I'm Rex. Join me later in the bulletin for sports news.
In this edition, St. John Ambulance hosts first ever open day. Eastern Highlands sign MOU for a world record book, and Hunters look to finish in the top 8. Proposed amendments to the Criminal Code Act aim to combat domestic terrorism in Papua New Guinea. The amendments currently being drafted by the Minister for Internal Security, Peter Sayama-Lili Jr., and Commissioner of Police, David Menin, seek to empower law enforcement agencies with increased capabilities to tackle domestic terrorist activities. The proposed amendments to the Criminal Code Act are part of Papua New Guinea's efforts to confront the growing threat posed by domestic terrorism, establish penalties for these offences, and grant explicit powers for investigating and responding to such acts. Commissioner Menin emphasizes that international organized crime networks are behind these acts of terror, which include kidnappings, killings, rapes, and other violent crimes. The government intends to introduce comprehensive legislation that will enable law enforcement to effectively combat these criminals. Prime Minister James Marape has pledged his support behind the Governor for NCD and the city administration to develop and transform the city for the convenience of the country and the people. As a token, he committed 20 million kina towards the project plans being undertaken by the NCDC.
Prime Minister James Marape pledged to support the National Capital District Commission's effort in making the city safe and secure by pledging 20 million kina towards installing security cameras in the city. He delivered this in his keynote address at the launch of the Baroko Precinct Transformation Project this week.
Finishing talk. Now asking me all the people. Your government will help and something but blow him. Long support him city. Example. And today, Governor, I want to present to you a 20 million kina to the city. I want you to put camera. I want you to put camera in all our major spots in our city. You don't need only security guards, you need camera to help observe and look at what's happening right across our city and major areas.
Prime Minister Marape added that if citizens cannot abide by the city laws, then he will open up the Bomana prison to confine them there.
Usai you come to city, na you less lo bianim lo city, na you stop, bami making bomana, na open bomana moyet, na you can go to bomana. You can go to bomana. No apologies to anyone.
However, it has to be the last resort because he believes in the goodness in people, both male and female. Frida Kana, TV1 News.
The PNG Defense Force and United States Army successfully concluded their joint disaster response exercise in Papua New Guinea. The exercise aimed to enhance PNG's disaster response capabilities and involved experts from PNG, the United States, and the United Nations. Major General Reginald Neal expressed gratitude to PNGDF for their hospitality and reiterated U.S. support for a safe and secure PNG. The exercise simulated a natural disaster and presented unique challenges for different provinces. The event showcased the strong partnership between the U.S. and PNG and their commitment to the safety and resilience of Papua New Guinea. St. John Ambulance in Port Moresby held its first ever open day today. The organization took its cooperation out in the open at the Tarama Aquatic Center at 3 Mile in Port Moresby. The The purpose was to make the public aware that they don't only rescue people from accidents and emergencies, but also play other critical roles.
St. John Ambulance hosted its first ever Open Day, a very significant event to be held after 40 years of operation in Papua New Guinea. Staff set up 6 booths at the indoor basketball court of the Taurama Aquatic Center. Each stall featured a different component of the ambulance service.
We've got the planning team that does all our planning for us. We've got the first aid in schools, so that's our education team. They go out and train in schools. We've got the paramedic team there, clinical team there with paramedics who do medivacs for us, do everything clinical that needs to be done in an ambulance. We've got our ICT team over there that sets up everything for us, especially with electronics.
According to St. John statistics, in 2022, there were 230 ambulance service women and men who responded to 21,573 and traveled over 1,013,116 kilometers to bring emergency care to people.
We need people to come in and see what we do so they can understand our operations. People think that we are all about just transporting people from wherever they are to the hospital, but there's a lot of things that happen behind the scene that make all these things happen. So we'd like everyone to understand how our ambulance system operates.
There were 98% of patients who were helped free of charge and 2% paid private user fee, which helped to maintain operations. Covering 1,013 kilometers is the equivalent of traveling 25 times around the globe, says Jackie Hennessy, leading St. John Ambulance medic.
We have everything ranging from the ability to put patient on a ventilator, so we can take over their breathing, take over their airway, make sure that we can breathe for the patient when they're critically ill or injured. We can monitor their heart rate, their blood pressure, their oxygen saturation, how much carbon dioxide they're breathing out. And then we can give them medications such as pain relief or things to make sure that their hearts keeps going. And we can do everything in the air, in an aircraft, we can do it on the side of the road, and we can do it in the remotest areas of PNG.
There was no particular timing for the visits to the information booths, but those who came did have a lot of inquisitive questions which kept the staff at the booths busy. Frida Kana, TV1 News.
As teased in today's Human Family was the theme of this year's One Talk Bosco Youth Camp, hosted at Don Bosco Technological Campus from June 23rd to 25th. The camp began on Friday with the first talk given by Father Gregorio Biokomong, Provincial Superior for PGS Vice Province. His talk, based on the year's strainer, showed participants statistics on issues faced within the country while also advocating how everyone could be agents of social change within their societies using the social teachings of the Catholic Church. The students reflected on the presentation through group discussions and sharing. Father Ambrose Pereira gave the second talk based on agents of social change through the use of social media. The session encouraged participants to use social media for the common good and to direct their talents and energies using the media to advocate positive changes within their schools and communities. You're watching TV1 News. When we return, World Record Book for Eastern Highlands and Rising Star in Tourism.
There's a sense of pride when you're able to do something right, a financial decision that has just really good benefits. With BSP Life Insurance, there's that alleviation of that worry when you pass away. The benefits of the BSP Life Insurance would meet those expenses on behalf of my family. If you're young and you have kids, you owe it to your children to make sure they're not left behind when you pass on.
With you for life.
Enjoying life when we work together, making happy memories that last forever. Hiding, talk, young or old, a scale race, family meal with home. We'll bring out the smiles, cause it's our favorite of mine. Tennessee Cola, scale rice, long scale, scale price. Tennessee Cola, scale skin.
Hiya, Mama.
You wait then, but me add him special flavor.
Put in more flavor, put in more taste. Magic kakaro, get up and big smile on face. Time for Kim chicken, a great kumutu. Sip, sip, the moo, yes, magic on you.
Maggi, the taste PNG loves.
The Toyota JD Hiace bus comes in 14 and 15-seater high-roof luxury model powered by 2.8 liters JD engine for optimal performance output, fuel efficiency and quietness, designed with improved safety features and easy maneuverability for tire steering angle. The Hiace lift suspension and annular frame structure is opted for smooth ride, comfort and safety. Experience the ride on the Hiace bus and experience the Hiace pride, the bus that exceeds all expectations.
Papua New Guinea. We love a reason for a family gathering. A reason to play. A reason to ignite the flame. A reason to cook the best with the best. Flame oil, now PNG made for PNG cooking. Flame oil, winning taste.
This is his time. This is Sydney's time. And about time. Has some time to spend it wisely. Loads up and stops the run. What a start, Australia. Johnny back to the corner. He flicks it out the back door and a try on debut. Oh, and then he ran into big authority. There he is. He's over.
Here they come, the Hunters.
Blakemore, Marshall in the corner. Tenza. Bob Tenza with the acrobatic.
Here they come again. Low looking for his second.
Welcome back. 19 officials in Papua New Guinea have been awarded certificates for completing a project management program. The training aimed to improve their skills in accessing international climate finance and providing green growth policy advice. The programs were conducted online and supported by the Global Green Growth Institute and the Australian High Commission. Participants expressed the importance of acquiring new skills in a competitive work environment. The Climate Change and Development Authority acknowledged the support received and thanked the University of Papua New Guinea for hosting the programs. The people of Eastern Highlands Province will now have a world record book to collect and update the population statistics of the people in the province. This was made possible through a Memorandum of Understanding signing between the Eastern Highlands Provincial Government and the Department of Provincial and Local Level Government Affairs in Port Moresby today.
Having a world record book is the first of its kind record-keeping exercise for the Eastern Highlands Province. Lyson Thompson, Deputy Secretary for the Department of Provincial and Local Level Government Affairs, said every council ward must have a data system.
System in every council ward in the country. It captures all the data within the ward. So it's a national government program we've been rolling. We'd like to roll it in Eastern Highlands Province.
Eastern Highlands Governor Simon Sia witnessed the signing. He said the province's population statistics is not updated.
A lot of times people asking me, how many people, what is the population in Eastern Highlands? I only can give them a guess figure.
He supports the signing and that groundwork must begin.
So this program, we must get the world record, census, NID, get it done. I totally support these programs.
He said Eastern Islands Province is the second biggest province in the country, and this program will ensure the population data is accessible starting from the ward level. Meanwhile, as an independent established, the PNG Electoral Commission will not sign the MOU, but has witnessed and acknowledged this MOU.
I will get the information from him and from you, and then I'll come and verify and get the eligible voters that is already been integrated into the vote record system. Now you go to record it and I'll come and get it and I'll confirm you.
Sinai said the provincial affairs is the structure that the Electoral Commission, the PNG Civil and Identity Registry, PNG Census and the Education and Health Department depends on. He said LLG structures are important for development. He challenged stakeholders to utilize well the ward record book. Tracy Pa, TVWAN News.
The U.S. Agency for International Development, through its Lookout Team Ground program, supported 30 people, including 24 women, from Nubia village in the Bogia district of Medan province to access financial literacy training. Local trainer Tina Manam, certified through USAID's partnership with the Center for Excellence in Financial Inclusion, conducted the training. The participants are members of the Hansa Bay Virgin Coconut Oil Cooperative. The cooperative comprises of mostly women from the 6 villages in Bogia. Their interest from other village communities to participate in production and selling of coconut oil to Kumul Organic. The participants now have a better understanding of the basics of saving and budgeting, which are the foundation skills for creating new enterprises and increasing household and personal financial security. They are now able to save money from the sale of VCO production to sustain their livelihoods. Coroner's Comfort Tours PNG is a rising star in New Island's tourism sector. The owner of Coroner's Comfort Tours is Alice Alu, who is originally from East New Britain province but grew up in New Island.
As the name suggests, Coroner's Comfort Tours PNG takes care of visitors' activities, accommodation and meals in collaboration with its partners in New Island's tourism sector. The owner of Coroner's Comfort Tours is Alice Alu, who started the venture to promote and market the beauty of the province she grew up in and loves. Alu, who is originally from the nearby East New Britain province, said this is a way of giving back to the province since the New Island provincial government subsidized her education from primary school to the University of Technology. Alu said New Island has never been promoted or exposed enough to the level where more visitors would list it on their bucket list of places to travel to. She started the new venture in 2019 after studying entrepreneurship at the University of Sunshine Coast, Australia, where she has a certificate in entrepreneurship. It was only an idea and business plan converted into a sustainable business model in 2022 post-COVID. While more international and domestic tourists are visiting Bilas Palace, Alu outlined that just like other local businesses, power issues affect operations. She said it negatively impacts most of their guests who are lodged at the small guest houses they affiliate with. Also, there is a lack of awareness in tourism products in remote areas where they think are potentially fit for product development and advertising. Alu said people need more awareness on how tourism can actually benefit everyone, as tourism is everyone's business. Salome Vincent, TVWAN News.
And now the finance news. The kina closed unchanged at $0.2800 US in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, our kina was buying $0.2725 US, $0.4088 Australian dollars, $0.2432 euro, and 39.08 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York close, all closed lower except palm oil, and crude oil closed higher. And on the stock market, the Dow Jones, ASX, and all ordinaries closed higher. TV1 News continues after the break with news from around the region. Stay with us.
It was during and after COVID that really motivated me to want to take up life insurance.
I
I think savings is very important, and I think One Talk Delight provides a disciplined approach to savings, and it's a good investment to want to think about the future, because it's always nice to have plans for what you want to do later on.
With you for life. He loves the Maroons. He loves the Blues. But there's one thing that brings everyone together. SB Lager, Bungim Yumi.
Right across the nation, we eat snacks crackers. Emi trupla. All get a young planalapun, only like him snacks crackers. Only make him here, no PNG, one time lay biscuit company. It's crunchy and tasty. It's irresistible.
From the rich soils of the highlands, the finest coffee has been grown by generations of Papua New Guineans. Expertly blended and roasted with over 80 years of experience, making the finest cup of Nescafe New Guinea blend. PNG's own coffee.
The drivers have just 1 hour of practice around the Red Bull Ring.
There's nothing more intense than this thing. I've been in racing my entire life since I was 3 or 4 years old. Anytime you get in one of these things, your life is in danger.
There's no room for error. I mean, this is life or death. I'm determined.
We travel across the country with this beast, and people just go nuts.
Welcome back. In regional news, a green sea turtle has been returned to the ocean off the Northern Territory weeks after being rescued from fishing nets. Abandoned or lost fishing nets and lines are an ongoing frustration for vets like Stephen, but it's something fisheries say can be an honest mistake.
An eager crowd assembling at Darwin's Casuarina Beach, all with front row seats for a special event.
How far out do you want to go? I reckon probably about, it's good.
Lovingly named Eileen by veterinary staff, this green sea turtle is back where she belongs, released back into the ocean after being rescued by local fishers nearly 2 weeks ago.
I went down, picked her up, noticed that she stank, brought her all the way up to try and get the hooks out of her, and then saw her, she was all wrapped up in lines.
The procession of onlookers thrilled to see her safe return.
Just cool to watch it swim away over the waves and stuff. I've actually never seen a sea turtle get released like that.
Eileen has been nursed back to health at the Animal Hospital in Palmerston. After having her front flipper removed, staff have closely monitored her progress, making sure she's fit enough for the wild.
She's basically pretty much back to normal. It's a few days after having major life-changing surgery and a very near-death experience, but she's fighting back really well.
Abandoned or lost fishing lines and nets are an ongoing frustration for vets like Stephen, but it's something NT Fisheries say is more often than not an honest mistake.
The easiest thing to do is try and prevent it in the first place, so use the right gear for the right location.
This is an extremely special occasion as it's the first time in 15 years a turtle is being released from a Darwin beach. It's hoped Eileen will help support a species under threat.
Fundamentally, it's more. Every individual helps, so it's important that she survive. She's got a potentially very long life ahead of her, and she will lay hundreds of eggs in that time.
A close call for Eileen, but ultimately a happy ending.
The family of a domestic violence victim takes the Northern Territory coroner to the scene of the fatal attack. Viewers are advised that this story contains the names and an image of Indigenous Australians who have died, used with the permission of their families. Calling out to the spirit of their sister, Geyogo Raguk's family welcomed a contingent of lawyers, police and media to the scene of her death, which is the subject of an ongoing coronial inquest.
Moment almost 4 years in the making. The last of Inigo Ragurk's belongings, which had been locked away with police and the courts, finally returned to her family as the coroner investigating her death visited the scene of an unspeakable crime. For the first time, members of Ms Ragurk's family visited Darwin's famous Mindle Beach, where in December 2019, their dearly loved daughter, sister and mother was killed by her partner, Gasik Norridge. They told the coroner they'd felt her spirit with them as they'd heard harrowing evidence in court and feared she'd not been able to properly pass on. But while laying flowers at the scene with the final pieces of their loved one now on their way back to country, Inigo Ragurk's family say she's finally at peace. Coroner Elizabeth Armitage said she was mindful of the need to include and support families, hearing from members of Ms Ragurk's family that this week's inquest was the first time many of them had ever heard what really happened to her 4 years ago. We ask a lot of family to travel here to Darwin to engage in a process which is our coronial process, but our process needs to also reach out and embrace the needs and respect the culture of family, and I hope that we've done a little bit today to pay respect to your family and culture and Inigo. The inquest into Ms Ragurk's death will finish tomorrow as the coroner continues a months-long investigation into domestic violence in the Northern Territory.
Remote Aboriginal community bands have travelled hundreds of kilometres to showcase their songwriting and celebrate NAIDOC Week at a concert in Broome.
It's soundcheck time at the Broome Country Music Club, where elders are gathering for NAIDOC Week celebrations.
Right through the Kimberleys is very popular, and I grew up with country music anyway. You have country rock and you have gospel rock and reggae and just rock music and everything, but most of them grew up with country and western.
Country music formed the soundtrack to life on cattle stations and missions in much of the 20th century. And organiser Shaquille Jacamara says it remains a sentimental favourite.
The elders, that make the time to come for music, never mind it's cold, hot, any rail, hail, anything. Get to hear old songs that they heard from their mothers play, and that because a lot of them play from back in the 60s, back to the 40s sometimes, so bring back childhood memories and memories of their families.
Arnold Smith, better known as Pudding, says for decades live music was the main form of entertainment in the Kimberley.
They just heard it as they congregated, like during rodeo time, races, run, especially outside of the pubs, and go into a little sitting somewhere and share it on a couple of guitars, maybe even one, or maybe a piano accordion. But I know from word of mouth from my uncles and aunties. They really had a good time before TV came to this area. I think it's positive because it's an excuse for people to really come and congregate without gambling and drinking.
There's increasing discussion at events like this about the upcoming referendum on an Indigenous voice to Parliament.
I think a lot of grassroots people don't know what it's all about really. They have a vague idea. They don't understand the concept of constitutional reform and the voice in Parliament. People not sure what that is, what will it look like.
I don't think people know enough about it. But I think people want to see change. And I say to people, well, what could be worse than what it is now if we had a voice? And it's opportunity for time for change now.
But for now, the focus is on songs about love and country and family.
And now the weather forecast for the next 24 hours. Back home, regional forecast for the next 24 hours. Southern region isolated showers and thunderstorms and cooler nights. Momasa region isolated showers and thunderstorms. New Guinea Islands region scattered showers and thunderstorms. Highlands region isolated showers and thunderstorms, then scattered morning fog, possibly frost. And that ends the news segment. In Sports with Rex, Hunters aim for top and Legacy Cup set.
It's in the highs and in the lows. It's in the big things and the small things too. It's hard to put into words, but you'll know it when you see it. Terrain tamer, when quality counts.
Hey, Rugby League fanatics! Want to watch the State of Origin game for you live in Sydney? Buy a new postpaid TV kit today for only 199 kina plus a plan for as low as 85 kina monthly with equivalent deposit and go into a draw to win. So what are you waiting for? Visit our Digicel HQ shop at Gordon's on weekdays between 8 a.m. and 4 p.m. or dial 1515 to speak to a TV agent to get your postpaid TV plan today. Digicel TV. More channels, more choice, more value.
You still have a chance to win with Digicel, Mad Money and more. Win over 560,000 kina in cash and prizes. Scalia. Yes, Digicel is giving you more cash and more prizes. There's 8 grand prize winners of 50,000 kina cash each, 100 winners of 1,000 kina cash each, plus 16 prize winners of water tanks and jet sets. Yes, yeah. For your chance to win, top up by 5 kina or more, or buy a Huawei 4G LTE smartphone and you're in to win your share in Digicel's Mad Money of over 560,000 kina in cash and prizes. Only with Digicel. Better together.
Hi everyone, I'm B Lit.
Are you ready for the ultimate learning experience with the all-new Be Lit block? Join me for educational content from Da Vinci Kids to ABC Education and our very own shows, Numbers World, Youth Talk, and Fun Maths and Science. Come with me on a fun and exciting journey of learning. I've got something for everyone from elementary to high schoolers. So get ready to be lit with a whole new world of opportunities. July 17th on TVWAN from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. See you on the block.
And here they come, the Vipers. They got numbers to the left. Can they burn the numbers? Here come Yannis, and there it is. It's a try to the Murrays. Look at the celebration.
While it's disappointing they've lost the series, there's still a job to be done and a legacy to uphold.
He's got plenty in hand to make it out of that bottom five. He's safely through to Q3.
Thanks for staying with us. The SP PNG Hunters won't be taking the visit in Central Queensland Capras lightly in their Round 16 class tomorrow, 3 p.m. Saturday, 1st July 2023 at the Santos National Football Stadium, Port Moresby. Hunters assistant coach Paul Aiton said, though they won't be counting their chooks first before their heads, a top 8 finish is on the Hunters' radar.
Well, there's a nice vibe in Hunters camp right now after last week's morale-boosting away win over Falcons. There's still a lot of hard work and improvement in certain effort areas of their game. A lot of focus has been on game management and structure both in attack and defense before they can start talking top 8. On numerous occasions this year, Hunters have been exposed defensively under pressure, while in attack look disjointed, which they must fix going into tomorrow's clash.
We definitely want to be in the 8. Definitely want to be in the 8 before the end of the season, so that's our goal.
Hunters assistant coach Paul Aiton said the Hunters would be wary of a formidable Capras outfit that will showcase a number of former Hunters, including Karen Kummel, Nixon Put, who's looking forward to his last game at NFS before he moves to Super League in 2024. Aiton said this is a must-win game for the Hunters to stay in touch with the top 8, and everybody is keen and ready to rip in.
We're just focusing on the Capras. I know we've got a lot of our Papua New Guineans in there, a lot of our brothers in there, especially the Hunters boys that have gone in there. So they're going to come here wanting to win. We know that it's Nixon Put's last game up here while he's in the Host Plus Cup. So they're looking to send him off really well, and you know, I like Nixon, but unfortunately for him, we need the win more. So our boys are going to be prepared for that.
Hunters rising star number 9 Trevor Solo is pumped up for the Capras match. Solo is an outstanding prospect who's taken his opportunity with both hands as he continues his development through the Hunters systems.
It's something that me like improve the game, blooming. I just want to make sure that I'm doing my job in the field when I given the opportunity by the coach. Putting a try is something that I always looking forward to make put a smile on my teammates and make sure we got a win and come back. So yeah, I'm looking forward for the weekend. It's gonna be tough playing against Capras because some of PNG boys too play love. So I'm looking forward for the challenges, and yeah, I'm ready.
Terry Longwood, TV1 Sports.
EMKC Pride and Egmak Rabaul Gurias are set for the much anticipated Legacy Cup clash. The match was supposed to be played in round 7 in the side's first ever clash, but was postponed due to preparation. The Legacy Cup contest is historically significant for both teams. The match will be played in tribute to Papa Gouria John Nightingale, late Grandchief Sir Michael Somare, and the close connection between them as brother teams. Football Operation Manager for EMK Civic Pride, Bradley Simon, says Legacy Cup match is a tribute to Papa Gouria, who contributed a lot in supporting rugby league in East Sepik Province. The fruit of that is the EMK Civic Pride. Another reason being late Grandchief Sir Michael Somare and his family, who were presented with the Legacy Cup. His family are caretakers of the Legacy Cup. Simon added that the Legacy Cup will mean more to both teams as they face each other this Saturday at Pora Oval. The Cup match will serve as a reminder to players of both clubs and the supporters in the years to come. The match is expected to attract a huge crowd. In their last meeting at Callabon Oval in East New Britain Province, Couriers held on to a convincing victory of 30 points to 12. The EMK Civic Pride will look to return the favour at home in this match and claim the first ever Legacy Cup. The SP Port Moresby Rugby League competition matches won't proceed this weekend due to clubs' failure to complete and confirm players' registration summary listings, which is paramount in player welfare in terms of insurance cover. PRL Board Chairman Dr. James Naipao said round to Week 1 matches will not go ahead until clubs comply with the rules of the game according to PNG RFL's requirements.
At the successful completion of the PRL Round 1 matches in Week 11 last week, competition has been halted this weekend until clubs sort out their outstanding players' registration summary list, which is important to players' insurance cover. In a brief media interview on Wednesday this week, PRL Administrator Meke Maino, on behalf of Chairman Dr. James Naipao, again raised the league's concern on the risk of players taking the field due to clubs' discrepancies in not completing players' registration summary sheets, which they must submit to the PNG RFL as per Constitution.
Unfortunately, from the club's point of view, registration fees were paid for all the players. But the summary sheets accompanying the registration, which then go to PNG RFL for the insurance cover and the administration and all that, were never completed, therefore never submitted. So, Port Moresby Rugby League Board Chairman Dr. James Naipao was not happy. So he said, round 2 will not start until these registration formalities are completed. So for that reason, this weekend there will be no games. After that, when we finish with the registration documentary procedures, then we will proceed with Week 12, which is the start of second round.
Meke Maino said only 2 washed out matches have been scheduled for this weekend, which will be used as curtain raises to the Host Plus Cup and Digital ExxonMobil Cup on Saturday and Sunday.
We are lucky that in this weekend we'll play our 2 washout matches. Both of them are in the senior division. Kodi Tigers will play Ohola Flies, that's as the curtain raiser to the Digital ExxonMobil Cup. And on Saturday, one of our 2 foundation clubs, Magani, will take on Tarangau as the curtain raiser to the SP Hunters match against Capras.
Dr. Naipao again reminded all clubs to provide proof of players' registration of 50 kina each for the season proper as recognized registered players to PNG Rugby Football League sanctioned competition. Terry Longwood, TV1 Sports.
PNG Football Association Acting General Secretary Dan Kakaraya claimed that the recent PNG couples international friendlies against Singapore and Malaysia is the reflection of level of football in the country, and PNG can only learn from it. He made the reference to matches that PNG is compatible to Singapore, but to Malaysia it is a different set of football which they are a step or 2 ahead of PNG. The PNG couple's performance on recent international friendlies gives an idea of where Papua New Guinea is in football. Match results indicate the rating and standard of football in the country. For Singapore and Malaysia, their standard is high, and it was the reflection of the facilities they have. They have world-class facilities, and PNG cannot be compared to them. This, in some ways, indicates that Oceania and Asia Football Confederations are not on the equal footing.
The results indicate the rating and the standard of football PNG currently has. Singapore, comparable. We are on a equal footing. And although Singapore is in another confederation, Papua New Guinea is in the Oceania Confederation. Singapore and Malaysia in the Asian. Their football standard is much more advanced and superior. The facilities are advanced, technical capability, financial, and therefore it reflects on the performance on the pitch. Pitch is the demonstration of all the capabilities and capacity that that particular team has.
Ben Kakaraya said result and standard of football displayed on the pitch is the reflection of training facilities, financial capabilities and technical staff. PNG can only learn from this experience. Kakaraya added that there is a lot of work to do to get football in the country to the next level so that we can be competitive against football clubs in Oceania and other confederations. In saying so, Kakaraya believes that PNG couples is a very young side compared to the previous couples team with zero experience of playing international matches. With this experience, they are only going to get better.
Papua New Guinea, our team is a very young team. 90% of that is all under 21, 22, 23. And we're very, very optimistic. The future looks very bright for us. The exposure and the exchange that we've had will bring about a lot of positive outcomes.
The matches were fully sponsored by Singapore and Malaysia football associations. PNG is the beneficiary of the fixtures. School Soccer Association Port Moresby concluded the holiday camp soccer program today for selected students from select schools. The program started on Monday, June 26th. The school holiday camp is to have the under-16 female team from each school participating in the Port Moresby school soccer competition to train and prepare for the national under-16 team for an international challenge in Tahiti later this year. Female under-16 footballers participating in the School Soccer Association Inc. competition were given training during the school holiday. They will be vying for a spot in the national team to represent PNG in Tahiti later this year. Interim President for School Soccer Association Inc. Julius Magay said selectors for PNG under-16 national team have been around to the training camp, keeping an eye out for potential players. The association will ensure that whoever is picked will be prepared well to represent the country and create a pathway for female football players in PNG.
The under-16, we are doing our selection so that we can feed the PNG FA, because there's an under-16 tournament in Tahiti in September. So we hope some of our girls that we are preparing can make it to the under-16 PNG squad.
Although the program was designed to bring under-16 female footballers in for training, there was huge interest from male students and other divisions as well. So the association brought them all to complete the program together. The program ended successfully today. PNG Sports Foundation has been supportive of the School Soccer Association Port Moresby Inc. The association is thankful and is looking forward to work together and develop football in the country.
Thank you to the parents who are coming and helping. Send the students. It's supposed to be on holiday, but they are coming here. And to the Sports Foundation for assisting us, supporting us. Without them, we cannot come here. Yeah.
And that wraps up the news for tonight. Over to you, Maricela.
Thanks, Rex. Tomorrow's bulletin will be at 7:30 p.m. due to the live broadcast of the NRL games. Have a safe weekend. Bye for now.
The TVWAN News was proudly brought to you by BSP, our bank, our people.